Small caps fly and the market dives. Let's talk about it today on the Weekend Update. Okay, friends, let's take a look at the market. Here's what you need to know. Now, first up, let's take a look at the market the way we've always looked at it, and this is from last week. So, red line is the S&P 500 here, orange is the 50-day moving average, purple is the 200-day moving average. And if you remember, last week we started a little bit of an air pocket, a little bit of a correction to the market. And one of the things that I thought was going to happen is, potentially come down in a test on the 50-day moving average. If I were to update this chart to today, right now, well, you notice here, red line S&P, orange is the 50-day moving average, purple is the 200. You notice that the market came down to the 50-day, sort of kissed it, and then bounced off it. So we've seen this before on the channel. What this means is we are now in a testing phase. I've gotten a lot of inbound, a lot of emails, a lot of calls. Hey, what are we doing? Are we raising cash? Are we defending ourselves? No, we're not doing any of that stuff yet because we don't have a signal. It's very normal for the market to come down and test its 50-day. We just had one of these in late March, early May, and that test resolved successfully, and the market, moved higher by probably 10, 15% from that point in time. So coming down to your 50-day is very normal for uptrends, so I'm totally fine with raising cash and defending against the market going down, provided we get a signal. And we don't have a signal yet. We're in the process of generating a signal, and it's going to tell us, the 50-day test is going to resolve either up, down, or sideways, and that's going to tell us a little bit about what the market wants to do from here. I think if the market punches below its 50-day, I think our next stop is going to be the 200-day, which is something like 10% lower than where we are today. That'll be something we're going to want to defend against. So we'll see how things go at this test of the 50-day. But for right now, things look pretty productive. Next week, we get a tidal wave of earnings. So I don't think we're going to have clarity, at least until this video next week. But let's talk about one other topic in the market. I'm getting a lot of inbound regarding, hey, should we be getting out of the stock market? Should we be getting into small caps, CNBC, and the market, wherever you listen to the market, wherever you get your data, they're talking about it a whole lot. And here again, we don't have a signal yet to get into small caps. Small caps do look positive. They've had a great week or two. But remember, you don't want to be jumping around in your investments too much, right? Our goal here, the way that you succeed in investing, is you buy something and you hold on to it for a long time. If we're going to buy small caps, and if they're going to be the flavor of the month or the flavor of the next 3 months, and then they're going to collapse or fail, that's a really bad trade to take, right? Because you're going to get in, you're probably going to get in late, so it's going to cost you a little bit there. It's going to take you a little while to get out, and then you're going to pay taxes, right? So if you made any money, on a short-term investment, you're going to pay at your ordinary income rates. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to buy the flavor of the week. We don't want to buy the flavor of the month. We want to buy things that we are very comfortable with holding not only for years, but potentially even decades, right? If we buy something that you never sell, then that tax bill never gets paid. And that's sort of like the ideal or the gold standard for investments. That's not to say I've made a decision one way or another on small caps. That's just to say that there is a lot of fire and fury around the small caps yet. I haven't seen anything too compelling yet. Generally, small caps are more sensitive to the economy. The economy is pretty weak right now, if you saw our last video. So a lot of this, I think, is a little bit of fluff, but I'm open-minded to it. If small caps want to give us a signal, break above their 2021 highs, which they're pretty much knocking on the door right now, I'll be very happy to own them. I think a lot of this is sort of like, this was some of that Trump trade that I was talking about. So we'll see where that goes. But at least for right now, the market's on a test of a 50-day, totally normal. We see this all the time. Small caps are knocking on the door, potentially to take a position in them. We'll see how much of that is real. This wouldn't be the first time that small caps gave us sort of like a head fake that didn't turn out to be anything substantial. So there you go. There's the market. We're not panicking. We'll see how the 50-day test goes. The market really hasn't given us a signal one way or another as to which way it wants to go. And the number one thing that everyone wants to talk about on CNBC, small caps, there again, no signal just yet. But we're watching it very closely, and if we need to take some action, that's what we'll do. I'll see you next week for the news review. Take care. Okay, friends, that was the video. Hope you liked it. If you found it informative, good, entertaining, I'd love if you could scroll down here beneath the video and give me a like there. It helps us out with the algorithm. And then if you want to be notified first of anything new that we upload to the channel, if you come over here, click subscribe, you'll be the first to know as soon as we upload anything. Appreciate it. See you soon.